Enjoy Red Ants in Her Britches from the Grandma Had Enough album, available everywhere.
She called me old, she called me useless. She called my house hers. So I called a lawyer, and nature called everybody else. She moved into my bedroom, put my clothing in a crate. Said you won't need this house much longer, at your age it's getting late. She drank my wine, spat my cash, and stretched out on my bed, while my spineless little darling nodded at each word she said. She measured all my windows, picked new curtains for my den. Said once the old girl's settled, we can renovate again. I smiled like Sunday morning, poured some coffee in my cup. She mistook my age for weakness, that's where Harper messed things up. She thought I'd cry and tremble, she thought I'd fade away. But this old hen had one more egg and laid that egg today. Red ants in her britches, honey on her clothes. They marched around her backside and climbed up to her nose. Left tiny little welts that stung like cactus through a hose. When you rob an older woman, that's the way the story goes. Red ants in her britches, no water in the pipes. She slipped across the bathroom like a hog on roller skates. She wanted my retirement, my money, and my view. Now she's dancing with the red ants, and they're leading every move. She bought $200 cream to keep her bottom young, but that night it met the bathroom floor and every jar was flung. Her left foot went to Texas, her right flew Tennessee. She landed where her manners were, somewhere beneath her dignity. She crawled into the hallway with the bloomers in a twist. Come the line of fire ants was marching up her wrist. The neighbors cracked their doors apart to watch the grand parade. She'd wanted to be lady of the house, well honey, she got made. She called me mean and heartless, she called me something worse, but greed had written every line and consequence sang the verse. Red ants in her britches, honey on her clothes. They marched around the backside and climbed up to her nose. Left tiny little welts that stung like cactus and pantyhose. When you rob an older woman, that's the way the story goes. Red ants in her britches, her dignity withdrew. She stole my ocean kingdom, now she's queen of cell block 2. My boy called from the station, said, Mama, make their bail. I said, you wanted housing and the county has a sale. He said, the room is crowded and the mattress hurts my spine. I said, 3 meals and supervision, that retirement plan was mine. His greedy little sweetheart said, you owe us legal aid. I said, I owe you exactly what your forged old papers paid. She said, you can't abandon us, your family till you die. I said, family doesn't steal your house, enjoy the government Wi-Fi. No silk sheets, no king-size bed, no fancy cream to soothe her head, no private bath, no sunset blue, just stainless steel and cell block 2. She wanted my house, she wanted my pay. Now a woman with a whistle tells her when to start her day. Red ants in her britches, honey on her clothes. They march around her backside and climbed up to her nose. Left tiny little welts that stung like cactus and pantyhose. When you rob an older woman, that's the way the story goes. Red ants in her britches, a judge who knew the scores. They tried to steal my whole estate and got a concrete floor. I sold the house for millions, bought a cabin on a ship, sent a postcard from the islands with a bright red lipstick kiss. I wrote, dear disappointed thieves, the weather here is fine. I'm spending my own money and the ocean view is mine. I funded senior lawyers with a portion of the sale. Now every greedy relative can get escorted straight to jail. They said revenge was wicked, I said, Lord, perhaps it is, but nothing cures entitlement like ants inside your britches. Some people learn through rhythm, some people learn through pain, and some people need a marching band with 6 legs and no shame. Red ants in her britches, honey on her clothes. They marched around the backside and climbed up to her nose. Left tiny little welts that stung like cactus and pantyhose. When you rob an older woman, that's the way the story goes. Red ants in her britches, no fortune left to chew. She got free meal and housing, but she lost the ocean view. I got rum beneath the palm tree, she's got chores at 2:30. I've got freedom, cash, and sunshine. She's got ants and cell block too. So listen, greedy children, before you make your plans, do not count your Rama's money while it's resting in her hands. Do not measure up her windows, do not price her ocean view, because Mama may look harmless, but the red ants do not. Goodbye, suckers. Try not to scratch.